Way, 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 way. Hello, viewer. Today it is a Wednesday, November 15th. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very well today. On this evening's live stream, we are discussing the goings on this week in the my brain's not working. Sorry, folks. On this evening's live stream, we are discussing the goings on this week in the entertainment. I'm multitasking. That's why I'm going wrong. On this week's entertainment and the social media, it was a week where I couldn't multitask and some very, very bad stuff happened in real life. So if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through, lots of multitasking. Let's get the guest out. You know it. Let's do it. Okay, so first up, from a VPN far, far away, it's the golden reach around droid of choice. It's Zee-3PIO. Hello there.
Hello there, Mr. Brown.
How are
Pleasure
you?
to be with you once more.
Good to have you on, my friend. I'm not very good at multitasking.
Why not?
No. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good at multitasking. I can do two hand jobs at the same time.
You're a droid, though. You've got the circuitry to do it.
And digital muscle memory.
Oh, yes. How are you, my friend?
I'm very, very good. Looking to see what sort of spaceships we've got tonight.
Spaceships.
Spaceships!
Okay. Great to have you on. Should we get the next bod out?
Oh, yes, let's.
Okay. Next, all the way from the land of Texas Shire, she is the queen of this channel. It is a midweek appearance, folks. Reni L.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you guys?
Not bad. Hello, Chuckles.
It's been a long week, so it's nice to just kind of talk to people I like and enjoy talking to.
When are they turning up then?
I don't know. Sometime tonight, I think. No, I'm talking about you guys, but it's just been a rough week, and it's nice to blow off some steam and have some fun. So let's get these shitty ships rolling, son.
Let's get these shitty ships rolling. I set up the poll.
You did you?
I set it all up, and you just press the button, and it's just completely erased.
Oh, that sucks.
Did you set up the poll before the stream started?
That's what happens when you put your poll out there before the stream starts.
My poll's not working, folks. Okay, so here we go. Next, quickly becoming a regular panelist. Big help with these spaceships. Professor Artoo.
Greetings, Mr. Brown.
Hello, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Kind of a messy day for me. Had some issues with my mobile carrier that I had to go sort out. Not what I expected to do today, but yeah, it all turned out, believe it or not, their customer service actually was able to help. So who knows?
Oh, that's a shocker.
Stranger things have happened, I suppose. But yeah, aside from that, everything's going great. Glad to be here.
Did you say you're on a new mic?
A different mic today, yeah.
It sounds fantastic.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Great to have you on, my friend. Shall we get the next guest out?
Let's bring him on.
Okay. A demotion. Sorry, folks. Next, he is the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. It is the great mega geek himself, newly demoted Ian David Diaz.
I've been demoted. What's that all about?
Demoted to what?
Somebody very, very special is waiting in the wings.
Oh, I see. Because I'm usually
last,
right?
It's not the last one here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that kind of demotion, I could go with.
Taking one for the team there.
That's right. Definitely.
See, they're all coming in. Look, here we are. Oh, sorry, chat moved up.
Well, I'm back. and it's all shit. That's all I can say.
It's always shit
It
24/7.
always is, definitely.
Yeah, look, they're just all there.
Princess Fiona. I love Princess Fiona. She's lovely. Shit. What shit?
Shit.
Great
Cool.
stuff.
No,
Who's
it's just
that?
shit.
Who's the next person coming on then?
Yeah, who's the next guest?
Okay. Great to have you on here.
Yeah. Likewise.
Are you sure about that?
I'm probably not.
Okay. And last but by no means least, Moses has returned, everybody. Set your Jedi power phasers to stunning and brave. It is not Brian Young.
Welcome to Disappointing the Viewers on the Mr. Brown Alliance channel. Good evening, Bruton.
No.
Good evening, chat. Good evening, fellow guests. How are we all?
Hey, I'm good. It's great to see
Yes.
you, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to see you, pal.
That's very kind of you. It's great to be back in among old friends. So, not so much emphasis on the old, you understand.
Yeah. Welcome back, Bri. One of the OGs.
Cheers, Reni.
Yeah.
How are you doing there, Bri?
Not bad. Just a wonderful life I've got going on just now. This fantastic.
And then you come
life
on
I've
here.
got.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Congrats.
this just couldn't be any better at home at the moment, as you well know.
Never mind. You're here. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much. The bottle of Jack is open and I'm ready to go.
Oh,
Although I know absolutely bugger all about spaceships, so that should be fun.
You don't need to.
That's good to know.
Okay. I'm going to set a poll up in a minute, folks. Just let me do the intros, all the guff, as it were. TBA 12. Subscribe, click, blah, blah, blah. Donate if you're that way inclined. Keeps the lights on. This dropped just literally 10 minutes before we came on. Hello, chat, by the way. Hello, chat. I can see you.
No.
Oh,
Kidding me on.
Pedro Pascal will officially star as Reed Richards in Fantastic Four Source Deadline. Talk amongst yourselves, and I'm going to
seriously,
set the
who
poll
gives
up.
a shit? Like, they can't get Fantastic Four right to save their lives.
And also, he's doesn't look like Reed Richards at all.
No.
Nope, he doesn't look like him. He doesn't sound like him. It's not even close to the height.
He's shit.
Sure,
Sorry, Ian,
everybody.
that was for you.
That's all right.
Rubbish.
No, but the thing, why are they casting him though? I mean, he's obviously not right for the role, and plus, he's been in every shitty thing going so far.
Well, did you guys see that article? I think he's quitting The Mandalorian, so it's like, oh, he's a hot ticket item. Let's go ahead and cast him. And I don't know. I don't see what the draw is about Pedro Pascal. I don't think he's that great.
No, he's mid at best.
He's mid, yeah, absolutely.
They think he'll be a box office draw and diversity.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
Yeah, that's the
I think he
only reason
peaked
why.
in Game of Thrones. I liked him as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. I thought he was excellent in that, but I haven't really seen him in anything else that's inspired. That picture on the right, the illustration looks more like Amos Burton, Wes Chatham from The Expanse.
It does.
But that's the thing, you see. If you're going to do Fantastic Four, you have to go and look at the 70s comics. Don't do Fantastic Four during the 90s or the 2000s, whatever, because those kind of Fantastic Four images are all crap. Basically, we're talking about Jack Kirby. We're talking about the classic 70s Fantastic Four, and that's what you should base your film on. And the looks, basically. I don't know where all this is an AI job or something. I don't know where this image comes from, but that is not Mr. Fantastic.
Let me ask you a question, Ian. And I think we've talked about this before, so I apologize if I'm bringing this up again or if it's a rerun. But like, I think what's his face that originally played him, Ian Griffith. I forget how to pronounce his name because it's an odd spelling. But I liked him, and he actually had potential to be a good Mr. Fantastic. But the writing sucked, and it was super cheesy. But he had the potential to be a great Reed Richards. You know,
Yeah, but
he really did.
Well, look. I always, when I was reading the comics and I saw the images of Mr. Fantastic, he's got the grey at the sides, right? I reckon they based it on Paul Newman. That's when you look at those pictures,
that's fair.
It looks like Paul Newman, doesn't it? So it does. Look at the 70s comics again, right? The way they draw Mr. Fantastic, it looks like Paul Newman. Anyway, that's beside the point. Point is, can we not get actors that actually look like the characters now? And just
what about what's his name? John, who was in
No, because he's got big ears and he's ugly. I mean, Mr. Fantastic is not ugly. Do you know what I mean?
No, he's supposed to be a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Like all the, like pretty much, unless they're a villain, even the villains, like in a lot of the OG Marvel comics, they're all supposed to be hot. So like, you know, you're not going to take like some fat ugly dude and put him in his place. You know, just saying.
You're right. I mean, every comic book character you see from the 70s, they're all hot. All the girls have got skin tight costumes. The men have got muscles. That's the whole point of superheroes. You know, I don't see the point of Miss Marvel Punjab costume and all. I mean, it's absolutely
Miss
stupid.
Frump.
Yeah, she looks frumpy, doesn't she? We idolize superheroes. That's the whole point of them. You know, we want to be them.
When frumpiness became hot, I don't know, but I don't think that's something that's going to draw in the audience. So.
Yeah, but I don't care about it.
Here you go. This is a good call, actually. Here you go. In the chat, chat moved up. Good call, this. Ushbala, Mrs. Fantastic, played by Freckle Jesus.
I hope not, because then that would really kill the project, wouldn't it? I mean, there's the reason why Sue Storm is in love with Mr. Fantastic. One, because he's quite good looking, or has that, and two, because he's very clever.
He's very intelligent. Mr. Fantastic is super smart. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think Freckle Jesus. Oh,
40 feet.
I think Freckle Jesus would make a better Johnny Storm.
Oh God, no.
Wayland Cephas, $2. Utter shit.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the poll is up, folks, for the first round.
They keep proving time and time again that they do not know what they're doing. None of them. I mean, I don't think James Gunn's going to be no exception. He's going to do badly with Superman.
He's going to suck ass.
Yeah.
And Superman's going to be rubbish as well.
Here you go, Iceman. The guy Hangman from Top Gun Maverick would be great.
The guy with a massive jaw who looks like a cartoon.
I don't know, but Mr. Fantastic, he's a man in his mid 40s or 40s.
I was gonna say he's
40s.
like 30s, 40s-ish, maybe even approaching 50s in some comics. Yeah.
And he's got a very distinctive look. I mean, I don't know who the hell this guy is. I think that's the Master from Doctor Who, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just looks evil.
Well, and not just that, but he also has a look to him kind of like Doctor Strange, I want to say, because Doctor Strange kind of looks a little bit more like that. Mr. Fantastic is more of a model looking guy. Yeah. So.
Oh well.
I'm sure this is from the all new, all different Marvel, which is where they're drawing a lot of their stuff from now.
That's exactly what they're doing.
All garbage. It's just terrible.
All new, all garbage.
That's the excuse, why so and so looking like so and so? Well, that was what they looked like in the comics. No, that is the wrong version of them. It always is. So anyway.
So in 2 words, what would you say about this?
It's shit. It really is.
Gotta get that catchphrase in there.
Here you go, Jaden Smith Eyes. Hello, my friend. Lizzo is the thing.
Wouldn't need pick up.
You see, they don't know what to do Fantastic Four, right? Because it's for white people, right? What are they going to do? You know what I mean? What are they going to do? Do you know what I mean? That's why they're having so much trouble. That's why they've got this fella as Mr. Fantastic, because he's what nationality is this fella? Right? That's the only reason why.
Where is Pedro Pascal from?
Isn't he
Chile, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say South America somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chile.
Ah, dear. Anyway.
Definitely not he wouldn't have the last name Richards if he came from Chile.
Ricardo, maybe.
Ricardo Reyes. Ray? I don't
or
know.
Reed. Yeah,
Fantastic
Reed
Four is an
Richards.
all-American superhero family. That's what they are. And if you do not portray them that way, it's not the Fantastic Four.
It's a lot of old bollocks then, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolute shit.
Okay.
It's shit.
Everybody's saying move on. So yeah, fuck it. Let's move on.
Bogged AF.
DOA. Okay.
Oh,
Spaceship.
Ooh, uh-oh. I
Love
think
it.
I know someone who's going to love this one.
USS. There is a poll open, folks. Please vote. USS Enterprise NCC 1701, the original series. Who would like to go first? Who's old?
Me.
Go on.
I
The
love
wise elder.
I love this ship. Yes, it's got the aesthetic of the 60s, but it's such a classic and it's so well designed. And I just want that as a toy. That to me, if you want it as a toy, that to me, the ship has been designed very well. And this has. There's no ship like this beyond Star Trek, if you know what I mean. This design is unique at best. So there you go.
Anything else to add?
No, that's it.
Okay. R2?
Oh yeah, I mean this is a classic. Obviously, Star Trek
Jeffries.
was formative as a series, as a show, as sci-fi for a lot of us. I never really loved this ship from the original series, but part of that is because I already had a first love. We'll get to that one eventually, but I was introduced to Star Trek with the movie Enterprise, which I absolutely adore. But I appreciate the design of this and the details that went into it. I love there's a video out there. Adam Savage got to go behind the scenes at the Smithsonian.
Oh, I saw that.
And
yes.
actually got to go look at the original shooting model and all the everything that they're doing to update it, and just seeing the details they had included on that shooting model back then is astounding. But yeah, I mean, it's a great ship. It's a classic.
Reni?
Yeah, I know you guys know I wasn't a huge Star Trek fan, but I did grow up watching this with my mom. She did show me some reruns of the original series, and just the design of the ship, and I can't be that creative, but seeing the thrusters versus like the engine area versus the bridge area, it's just a really cool design. I think my favorite part of the ship is the bridge area or the disc, and so I think it's a very pretty ship, especially for being so old, for crying out loud. So pretty innovative design for the time, in my opinion.
Nearly 60 years old.
That's right.
Zee?
Absolutely one of the greatest ships ever to grace our screen. From the saucer section, which was what they were trying to get away from, flying saucers, to the twin nacelles. It's absolutely beautiful. It's an incredible look that set the template for the entire Trek universe. That's still stands up today. And it's one of the few classic dinky toys that I still own. With the firing saucers.
Have you got the shuttle as well?
I have got the little orange shuttle.
Oh,
that goes
nice.
underneath.
I've got to come to your house, mate. I've got to come to your house.
I know, right? I'm just watching my husband's eyes pop at that.
Yeah,
at the
I had one of
Enterprise.
those.
He's like, "Oh,
I
I
had one
love
of those
it."
models. The dinky one. I had one. Don't know what
It
to do
is
with it.
lovely.
Is that the name brand?
There's
Dinky?
one thing. There's one
Okay.
thing that cannot be disputed, right? And I don't care what anyone says, right? John Williams is the best composer in the world. This is one of the best design ships ever, right? And the reason why you say that is because there hasn't been a design like this since. That nobody's tried to copy this. It's very unique, right? In its design. Same thing with John Williams. You can't dispute John Williams not being the best composer in the world, because he's the most successful composer in the world.
Well, best living composer in the world.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's two things you can't dispute. This ship.
I'm just saying,
right?
people will correct you on that.
This design is freaking awesome, right? And it's one of the best ships ever, and you can't dispute it. You really can't. So, I love it.
I'd agree with that.
Brian?
Classic design, iconic, obviously. It's got a 60s aesthetic about it, clearly, but it still manages to be futuristic at the same time. It's a very basic design, and but it's incredibly effective. I didn't never like the kind of detachable element to it that they brought in later films, and it was criminal, absolutely fucking criminal that they blew this up at one point.
Oh, I know. It hurt to see that. It really did
It
hurt.
died.
Yeah.
One of the
How
best
could you
films
kill it?
ever, best Star Trek films ever
Yeah,
made.
Star
man.
Trek 3, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we move on, Brown, did you
Yeah.
see on it was on Twitter, is it a couple other places, just a few days ago, that apparently the original 3-foot shooting model of this ship was recovered from a storage unit.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's been missing for decades. It was thought destroyed. And there was a storage unit that, it's one of those where they got behind on their payments and they had to go auction it off. And in the storage unit, they found the 3-foot model that was the original that was used. It's actually the one that shows up in the credits and in the first episode because the 11-foot model wasn't ready. So
wow.
this is
Wow.
now, it just showed up on eBay overnight. Guy thought it was just some, Star Trek model some guy had made and had mounted. And all of the analysis, all the photo analysis and everything shows that it is very likely the original shooting model.
Holy cow.
It's made of wood, wasn't
the
it?
3-footer. Yeah.
I heard it was made of wood.
It's just somebody bought up an abandoned storage unit and there it was.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That'd be something to have in your garage, right? I mean,
Somebody in the chat said the poll's not working. It looks like it is working.
it worked for me.
I've
Maybe
certainly not
For
ended
me.
it. Yeah, I've certainly not ended it. Yeah, perhaps
May have to.
refresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So USS Enterprise, amazing.
Great show.
Oh, yes.
Oh yes.
Yes, agreed.
Planet Express ship. Future.
The theme music is just playing in my head looking at the show.
I can hear the theme song.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are tone deaf.
Yes, they are. But at least they gave it a shot.
Well,
Reni, would like to go
synchronization is a little hard.
I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Matt Groening because he also invented The Simpsons, even though it's jumped the shark now. But I've always loved this ship. As simple as the design is, I think it's a great ship. There's not a whole lot that really you need to convey on it. It's got like the name of their service or their company on it. It's got a cool look. It's fast. It's got a lot of cool little tricks on it. I don't know. I love it. It's like a cross between a space rocket and an airplane to me. That's kind of what I see it as.
Zee?
It's a very nice callback to the 1950s retro aesthetic.
It is, yeah.
Which I really like. Not very great as a ship, I would have said. It has very little in the way of armaments and defenses. I appreciate that it is a delivery ship, but they can all kinds of shit with it. And it's got some really weird features, which you would expect on a toy.
It's green.
Well, yeah, it's green, but it's also got things like a magnet winch and a giraffe net and an elephant locator for some reason. And a drill in the nose cone. It's like ridiculous features. So although it looks nice, it's not liking it that much.
Brian?
I've never been a Futurama fan. It was one of these shows I could never quite get into. I'm sorry, it's sacrilege saying that. But this reminds me of Thunderbird 2 in a way, although a slightly different shade of green. I don't have anything really else to say about this other than I like the colour. There we go.
Ian?
Yeah, it's a ship.
It's shit.
No.
It's a ship, but not
It's
shit.
a ship, everybody.
It's an okay design, but it's obviously they were going for kind of a 60s, I don't know, 60s vibe there, isn't it? I mean, it's okay. I can't say any more than that. Really, it doesn't really excite me as a
Flash Gordon style.
Yeah, kind of, isn't it? It's got rivets on the wing thing and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, I agree with who said that it doesn't have any defenses. I agree. Yeah, even you're flying around in space, you've got to have defenses just in case you've got space pirates or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have any. It's just weird, but it's okay design as far as I'm concerned. I'm not crazy about it. It's okay.
Artoo.
Good news, everyone. I absolutely. Futurama is one of my favorite shows ever. I absolutely love it. And it does have defenses. There is a cannon on top, and there are two torpedo tubes at the front. The color is electric mucus. That cannon. All right. No, but the design of this is so cheesy, and it is very much intended to look like a 1950s sci-fi, just plain old goofy rocket with some fins on the side. But they did so much to add some personality to it, and then in one episode, literally gave it a personality. Sigourney Weaver played the spaceship.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
But I love this ship. Yeah, it's a silly cartoon. It's never gonna win one of the contests for greatest ship ever. But Futurama is such a great show. I've got two models of it sitting right here. I've got a small one and a big one, just sitting right here. One of them lights up. It's really cool.
Oh man.
And yes,
That's
it has been renewed.
Great ship, great show.
Yeah, 2 more seasons as well.
I'm coming to your house.
Party at Artoo's.
Yeah.
Okay, so Planet Express ship, everybody. Futurama. Jerry Anderson, UFO, Interceptor.
I'm trying my hardest not to laugh out loud right now.
Is your brain going where mine is?
Well, I have seen this ship before, and I know exactly where my brain went the first time I saw it. So,
Ian, would you like to go first?
Yeah, it's an unusual design. Does it vibrate? But it would work if it wasn't for that front bit, which I find really odd. I do like the design. I think it's very clever. It's like a helicopter with no rotors. But I think what spoils it is the front bit. I don't even know what that front bit is. That like a missile or something?
Yes, it's a single shot missile.
Well, it doesn't make any sense just to have one, does it? Do you know what I mean? But anyway,
they go in squadrons of 3, don't they? But
I do like the design. As I said, the front bit spoils it, but I think the design's quite nice. Put it that way. As I said, I think it's based on a helicopter. It looks like a helicopter without rotors.
The feminine hygiene product sticking off the front of it does mess things up a little.
Yeah, it does.
A helicopter with violating power at the front.
Yeah. Only take one passenger though. Just if it has to rescue someone, you can't really rescue anyone. It's just got one seat, isn't it? Really, it's a bit. It's okay though.
I would be afraid it would try to probe me.
Uh-oh.
And that's a big probe.
Brian?
It looks a bit like a vibrator mated with a toilet brush. Great for cleaning the U-bend and perfect for smear tests at the same time. I think I like the colourway. I like the bit at the back. I like the landers. That's about it. No, it's a bit of a cartoon in it. It's something you find in a really bad computer game.
Bearing in mind, it was 1969, 1970.
Did
69,
the thing move? The little probe-looking thing? Did it move at the front or no?
No, it just fires. It's a missile. Thing is, though, it was designed by the people that created, Thunderbirds and
Derek Meddins, Brian Johnson.
It wasn't designed by them, but they did the effects on it. So I guess it was designed for the effects of the day. Do you know what I mean? So it was pretty. I don't know. I really don't know, but it's okay. It's all right. Not one of the
I had the green dinky toy. A couple of people in the
did
chat.
You?
Yeah.
I'm coming round your house then. No, have you still got it? I'm not coming round your house then.
No, it's. I'll tell you the story. There was a building site when they were modernising the houses that I live in. When I was obviously I was a child. Kids like to fuck about on building sites. and I lost my UFO interceptor in the building site. So it's probably somewhere under the soil somewhere. Buried. Anyway. Boring story. Moving on. Yeah, Stream Killer killed it dead. Artoo, did I ask you?
Just that looks a bit like an airplane with a marital aid attached to the front of it. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, not for me.
Reni, did I ask you? Can't remember.
No, but I'm you know me, I'm not afraid to put out my my opinion out there.
Filth.
Yeah, I don't think I would choose this ship. It looks like a very violating kind of ship, and I don't think I would want to utilize it as a lady. But that's just me, you know, to each their own. But I don't feel like the design is also very it's not very like
original.
Well, no, not that it's not original. It's like I don't think it would fit my needs. I don't have a need for that sort of design. Like to have that big of an extension when the missile could actually go underneath and fire from underneath or above. There's no reason to have that much. It's just not very efficient or useful, in my opinion.
Well.
That's all I can really say about that.
Does the front part rotate? Just asking for a friend.
That's all I've got to say about that.
I will say this: the picture isn't 100% accurate. It's a CAD render, computer render.
Oh, okay.
I think it's fairly accurate, other than the missile at the front is a little bit more rounded than the normal one. The normal one is pointy. That's why you lot are just dirty.
I'm sorry, it would still look terrible.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I would still have that idea, no matter what.
UFO was a good show. Zee?
I love the show. I'm not a fan of the ship. It's a one-hit wonder. It's got one bullet. That's it. You're done. By far the best thing about this ship is the pilots had to jump down a laundry chute to get to the cockpit. Don't ask me how they did that. The worst thing about this ship is the dinky toy was green.
I know.
Which I've got no idea why they did that. And the landing struts, I think they were orange, weren't they?
Yeah.
They look absolutely fucking ridiculous. So they didn't nail the toy. I don't think they nailed the ship. It does very little. But it's great in the show.
They nailed the Shadowmobile in Dinky, though.
Oh, yeah, Shadowmobile. And
brilliant.
What was the other one? That was really
Skydiver.
Good. Skydiver. That was a ship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Jerry Anderson's UFO Intercept, everybody. And finally...
Oh.
We're on an express
elevator to hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aliens
what is that?
We're ready to get it on.
I say we take off, nuke it from orbit. It's the only way.
It's the only way to be sure. Yeah.
I don't. Oh, shall I go first?
No. Oh, sorry. Press the wrong button. Bear with me. Brian, would you like to go first?
No, if you let Ian go first, so I can Google this to find out what it is.
This is the ship from Aliens. This is the drop ship from Aliens.
I was never I was more of an Alien fan than Aliens, right?
I mean, I do like it. Obviously, it's based on I don't know, a helicopter stroke plane of today. But I do like it. But I think it's very, I don't know, the Americans would say boxy. It looks like it's just made out of boxes and stuff. And it looks like, you know, they've given the back wing of some plane, and they put I don't know, that looks like a plane as well in the front. I mean, it's okay. It's okay, but it does remind me of every time I see this ship, it reminds me of when it lands in the film. And you can tell it's like a model when it lands.
Still good though.
Yeah, it's still good. I mean, obviously it's a film of its time, but very military, isn't it? You know, I don't mind this. I don't think it's an original design, but it's still quite nice in my opinion. I'd love to have a model of this as well.
Zee?
It's okay.
That's it.
That's it, really. We I don't think we really got enough of it. We didn't get to see enough of it. It just literally transports people from A to B and provides covering fire.
Yeah.
As somebody already said, it's more like an attack helicopter than it is anything else.
Yeah.
Spunkmeyer.
Max Wimpelnell, Apache cockpits.
What would you call somebody Spunkmeyer?
Because it's their name.
It's a
Yeah, I
horrible
mean, you
name,
can't
don't
help
it?
your name, but yeah.
Spunkmeyer.
Horrible name.
It is
Oh,
horrible.
Reni?
Like what Ian said, it's a bit boxy for me. Completely forgot this was an Aliens thing. I wasn't a huge fan of Aliens. I liked Alien and Alien. Yeah, I know. And it got a little bit too graphic. Like, some places I'm not really into gore and watching people get shredded. But not a big fan of it. Don't see like the whole functionality of everything. Especially, I don't know. You figure you've got more technology, everything should be very sleek and streamlined, and this is not. But again, this is, way back when. So of course they did what they could. They were probably trying to avoid being like Star Trek or Star Wars and had to come up with their own design. But you can definitely tell the front of that is a helicopter. So, but I think they did what they could.
You go, Princess Fiona. It's a fucking dropship. Of course it's military.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this ship, we wouldn't have that line from Hudson. Game over, man. Game over. When it got blown up as it was trying to land. So I guess that's got something going for it, I guess. So.
Brian, have you Googled?
Yes, I have. And everyone said all the points I was going to make and I'd written down. I don't mind this design. It's not brilliant, but it does evoke heavy feelings of a military ship, as everyone has said before. Apache front is almost identical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You go, Princess Fiona. No more shitty renderings, please.
I like it.
Well, it's a choice between shitty renderings or pictures that don't have enough pixels.
But you know what this ship reminds me of? It reminds you of old school when they used to make models for films. They used to just get
kit bashed.
Kits. This feels like a kit bashed ship, definitely.
That's probably why you got the tail plane at the back and the cockpit. Who's not been yet? Artoo?
So I'm going to have to say yes. I absolutely love this ship because it looks like an Apache helicopter, because I have a friend who pilots Apache helicopters
for
the U.S. Army. I've been everywhere but in the cockpit on an Apache, because he's very much in love with his ship and wants to show it around. So, it is absolutely taken from the Apache helicopter. It's intended to look very militaristic. I mean, it is just a drop ship. It's pretty cool though. I mean, it does play a role in the actual movie. It's not just there. You get to see some of its functions. You get to see it get used. It drops the other little tank roller thing out of it at one point, and then they go exploring. So, I mean, it's a really cool ship. Is it as cool as the main ship that it came from? I mean, but yeah, it's definitely. I mean, its design is absolutely meant to evoke an Apache helicopter. In fact, I would bet that cockpit came off of an Apache model.
Probably too.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go,
Customized
Jim D.
it
It was kit bashed, designed by Cameron himself. Wow.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, so Alien UD4L Cheyenne dropship. Okay. I will close. You've got 30 seconds to vote, everybody. Panel, please talk amongst yourselves.
There you go. We're talking amongst ourselves.
Just let me press buttons. Okay.
So what do you guys think about Brown while he's not listening? No, just
shut up, you. Okay.
He's not quite a smooth bear, is he?
No.
Okay, I'm going to close
Only
the
Platoon
poll
can be a
because
smooth
there's
bear.
only one winner. So
I think he's smarter than the average bear, though. I think. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, the old Futurama ship never stood a chance.
Well, not against the
Okay,
Enterprise.
so
Yeah.
Enterprise, come in, Enterprise.
66 votes were cast, everybody. Last place, bringing up the rear, this reverse order. UFO Interceptor, 9%.
The Vibrator.
Literally up the rear.
Yes. Planet
Bringing up the
Express
rear.
ship,
Anal
Futurama, 13%. 1-3. UD-4L Cheyenne Dropship, Aliens.
Cheyenne.
That as well, 16%. But the winner, USS Enterprise, NCC 1701, TOS, 60%.
Sir, someone's stealing the Enterprise. There you go.
Yeah.
My God, Bones, what have I done?
How
Okay,
can
so
you
was
have
it-
a red alert in Space Dock?
Okay. Any other
Okay.
quotes?
Please talk amongst yourselves. I need to set the poll up, the second one. So if you could do that just for 2 seconds.
Does anybody remember what Dr. McCoy said to that line? When he said,
Oh,
my
no.
God, what have I done? Anyone?
I think he
no.
said something like you did what you had to do or
Yeah.
what you were
What you have to
Yes,
Yeah.
what you always do.
Yes.
You always do.
Turn
Yay. I was
death
close.
into a fighting chance to
Turn
live.
death.
That's
what
right.
a brilliant
Chance to-
line. What a
Yeah.
Star
Good
Trek
line.
line. Fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. For a film without Spock, it really works really well. Fantastic. I keep going on about
Carry on.
Star Trek. I keep going on about Star Trek 3 until I drop dead. I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
that's one of the
no,
best ones.
My
It's a great
husband can talk
movie.
about Star Trek all day. So
Yeah, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I haven't been keeping track of the ship streams for obvious reasons, but have they done the Rocinante from The Expanse?
No, did
Not
we?
yet.
No, I don't think we have.
No?
No,
Oh.
I don't think we have.
Not yet.
We did.
Ooh,
we
little
did,
tease there.
we did the Cygnus, which I love. I totally love that ship. So unique.
oh,
did
Brown,
that
you're being
last
called
week.
Brown Bear now.
Brown bear.
Easy.
Not
we-
That's what
smarter.
they said in the chat.
We've
Not
done
smarter.
quite a few
Yeah,
so
we have.
far. Some of the winners that we've got so far, Brian, we've got the TIE Interceptor was a winner. Yeah, that's a really good one. The USS Enterprise D.
Mhm.
Are we else?
Yes, that went up against the Cygnus. So yeah, Ian wasn't too happy about
yeah.
about that matchup.
Yeah.
The X-wing from Star Wars is also
Love
moved
it.
on.
Love it.
Moya
Love it.
from Farscape.
Oh no.
Not one of Ian's favorites.
No.
We had the USS Sulaco, which was the mothership for that dropship that we just saw.
yes, the
that one
Sulaco's
moved on.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. The Venator class Star Destroyer, which was the Star Destroyer from the Clone Wars.
I do like that one. That's
Yeah.
I don't have a big affinity with spaceships. I'm far more interested in the characters, but the Millennium Falcon, the X-wing, and the one you just mentioned are
Yeah.
my three favorites of all
The-
time.
you're into double bridges on the top of your Star Destroyers.
It's funny, right? Because ever since Star Wars
don't
came
understand.
out, almost every design in any science fiction film has relatable stuff too. When you look at Star Wars, isn't it? So I think they create something very unique, didn't they? Spaceship design wise. So
Yeah, the Venator Star Destroyer was the one. It has two separate bridges on top. So
Yeah, I
just
don't
the one,
understand
like a
that.
regular
Why?
Star Destroyer. Yeah, it's weird.
And
And then let's see
Apparently-
others that have moved on. We had Serenity from Firefly and the Millennium Falcon. So
fantastic.
those are
Yeah.
the others that
It's
we've
currently a Lego version of the Venator out at the moment, and I'm trying desperately not to stick it on the credit card.
Mhm.
It's a beaut.
Here you go, Atom Gray. Where did these nominations originally come from? Did you have a poll on Twitter or something? Mr. Van says me. They were in the community page
Yeah.
on the YouTube channel. So these are what people have suggested.
And then when we came up a little short, we went back through some of the old chats and found a few more.
Yeah, when I completely screwed up.
No.
So we had to go from 32 ships to 64.
Even when you watch Star Trek the motion picture, when they were doing that tour of the Enterprise and how beautiful it looked, you know, it's fucking fantastic design. It really is.
And on that bombshell, shall we move on then? Yes. Okay. Move on.
Do
move
it.
on.
Oh, hello.
Mm.
That is my childhood right there.
This
Brian?
is ship porn.
Brian,
Yeah,
would you like
this
to go
is
first? I assume you know what this is, Brian.
Wasn't that the whole
Yes,
point?
I do.
Ship porn?
Yes, I do. I do indeed.
Yes.
It's such an iconic. I'm going to say iconic quality. It's been wasted for me slightly because of the Jar Jar Photoshop that someone put over it a while back. But the Flying Dorito is such an iconic design. Is one of my favorites again. I never mentioned that. I just told a lie there earlier on. It's do you know, I'm looking at it right now and all I can see is that fucking Jar Jar thing. Whoever did that, I'd like to strangle him to death.
I know what you're talking about.
Where do the space horses come out of?
Well, the later models had a racetrack round the outside, obviously. But don't tilt the ship, for God's sake, otherwise it'll end up back in the ice.
Yeah.
Space horses.
It's amazing because when you saw Star Wars and you saw that ship, you were like, that's huge. And then when you saw Empire Strikes Back and you saw Darth Vader's ship compared to that, you're like, that's huge. Do you know what I mean?
The opening scene of Star Wars basically tells you everything you need to know about the stakes and the story in that one opening shot.
Incredible.
It's so iconic and so well done.
Absolutely. When this first came on the screen, I think I watched it in 78 at the Odeon in Peterborough. And when this came on the screen, my jaw dropped. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. Behemoth of a ship.
Nothing anyone's ever seen before. Not even in 2001. 2001 was so dull and boring. Effects were great, but this actually showed you scale. Do you know what I mean? It literally the first shot shows you how big that freaking thing is. So, and especially in 70mm, I saw it in the Dominion when the Dominion was a cinema in the West End. The first time I saw it, I didn't know what I was watching, but I was enjoying it. So yeah.
Happy days.
I actually thought it was a musical when my brother said, let's go and see Star Wars.
Yeah, you nearly bailed, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw it
in
hate musicals.
in 78 in the lounge in Headingley. Wow.
Am I the only one that saw it in 77?
I wasn't born when this came out.
I know you weren't.
Yeah, that's no excuse. That's no excuse.
Am I the only one that saw it in 77?
I thought it didn't come to the UK until 78.
No, it was 77. I saw it. Or maybe I'm wrong.
No, it did. I think there was a Christmas screening.
No, I remember it. No, 77. No, it was 77 because Close Encounters came out.
No, 78. It was released 78.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Because I think I saw it in 77 because I remember Close Encounters
there was
coming
some
out in
press.
That was a really bad
that
trivia.
year.
No.
Or was it 75? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm old.
No, you are wrong. Reni?
Yeah, so this is kind of a
here you go.
double-edged sword for me because I was
Possibly
the
then,
world's
Ian.
There you go.
yeah.
Possibly.
There you go.
I was the world's biggest Star Wars fan back in the day, so this is one of my favorite ship designs. I especially love Darth Vader's his Star Destroyer, but still the Imperial Star Destroyers were some of the coolest ships I'd seen at the time, and they were so freaking massive until they go up to the Death Star and you're like, holy crap, that's even bigger. So I like the design, even though it was kind of simple and basic. Still very pretty, sleek. It made sense. I don't know. I just loved everything about these ships. So
R2?
Just instantly menacing, terrifying when you see it on the screen. I mean, it is just so brutal in its design and the way that it's laid out. It's terrifying when you first see it in Star Wars. Since everyone's telling their Star Wars stories, I'm pretty certain Star Wars was the first movie that I ever saw because my parents went to a
77.
A double feature at a drive-in, and I was in the back seat when they went to see it. So I was a little too young to actually remember seeing it, but it was probably the first movie I ever saw. But yeah, this starship is just amazing. It's so good. I mean, I feel bad for all the other ships in the lineup for this particular round because it's going to be a tough one to beat.
Okay.
I'll always say this. I'll never forget the day when I went to see it. I was in a queue and it was a
tell
really
us the
long
story
queue.
of
And
Tell us the full story of when you thought it was a musical. Go on.
Well, I saw the classic poster where Luke's holding the lightsaber and Princess Leia was holding his leg or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It just looked like a musical. My brother said to me, "Do you want to go and see Star Wars?" I'm like, "That's a musical. I'm not interested in music." It's not a musical. We had an argument. Then when we got there, the queue was right round the road. It was like really long, and the police were there, policemen and horseback, trying to push the crowd off because they were coming off the pavement. So they're trying to push the crowd onto the pavement so that the cars can move. And that's the image I have of Star Wars when I first went to see Star Wars, is the policeman on horseback and how long the queue was. We queued up for 2 hours, then we got in.
You were still convinced at this time it was a musical, though?
Yeah, because my brother, I was really pissed off. My brother was saying, "It's not a musical." I'm like, "It is. I've seen the poster." And then when I got in there, I was blown away, obviously. And I wanted to see, when we came out, we immediately wanted to see it again, but it was just too late. It was the last screening, because in those days you can stay in the cinema and see it as many times as you want, but not this film because there was too many people.
They would have cleared it out, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, Ian, I kind of want to see Star Wars the musical now.
Yeah,
it couldn't be any worse than any of the new stuff that Disney is making. So,
well, we had Star Trek musical, didn't we? Somebody told me.
Oh, gross.
Okay, so everybody's had a turn. Yes. Okay, Imperial Star Destroyer, folks.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
God, what's this?
SSV Normandy SR2 Mass Effect 2 video game, folks.
Oh, I was like, I've never seen that before.
Street Killer.
Nobody's seen it. No, well, I have. I will say Mass Effect 2 is easily in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I absolutely love that game. I've played through it. I don't even want to count how many times I played through it. But this is sort of their main ship that they use in that second game. In the first game, that ship gets destroyed. The first one does. So this is the follow-up to it, which is actually about twice as big. But yeah, it's a very interesting design. I don't know if it's a pretty design. I don't know if it's very attractive. But a lot of the ships in that universe are not particularly attractive either. They tend to be a little more functional looking than
it looks
pretty.
Like an earwig.
Yeah, I was thinking like an aardvark with like a very long snout, kind of thing. I'm like, it's just very odd.
I think people like the game Mass Effect.
Yeah,
people are saying that we like the game.
Yeah,
I think it's quite an ugly ship. Personally, I can't figure out the design. Maybe this is just a picture that I'm being presented with. But where does the pilot sit? Is it the middle bit or is it
Crotch
the front
pit?
bit?
Right up there at the front.
Right at the front. Where's the window? I don't know. Anyway, I can't figure it out. It looks like something that you screw nuts in with. Do you know what I mean? It's like the front. Look at the front bit. Seriously, just, I don't know. I don't like this design at all.
Yeah.
You go, Jay Jameson. I'd like to see more angles.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting because all I'm looking at is what I'm being presented because it just looks weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see it moving in the game, it makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
Yeah, you do see kind of the little bits in the front there that, I don't know, right in front of the engines. Those are kind of like vectored thrust that move around when it's flying. There's some canards and other parts that move with it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, although the games are amazing, most of the ship designs in the games are not particularly attractive.
Here you go, folks. I've been burgled, which is never good. Electric razor.
Can we just say that it's shit?
Yeah, well, I'll let somebody else say that this time. It is
ugly ship. It's shit.
Anybody want to add anything? Go on, Brian.
Yes, I'm going to slightly disagree. I actually quite like the design of this ship, believe it or not. It's very insectoid, but futuristic and sleek. Apparently, it's a stealth reconnaissance frigate, and it's very similar to the SR.
Great to have you back, Brian.
Yeah,
it does look a bit like a lobster or a crayfish with its legs removed from the other angle, right enough, but I quite like it.
It does a bit.
Here you go, Max Voomfondel. More like a nasal trimmer.
It does look like one.
Yeah, I
doesn't
can
it?
see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is SSV Normandy SR2 Mass Effect 2. Space Battleship Yamato.
Yamato.
And what is
Z?
this from?
This is from Space
Battleship
Battleship Yamato.
Oh my God.
I'm not a fan
Yep.
of this ship. I know it's supposed to be a battleship, but having it look like a battleship,
I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
It's a boat. That's what it is. It's a boat.
Space boat.
It's been
boat.
kit bashed. That's what it's been. It just
It
looks
basically
stupid.
looks like a submarine that can fly in the air,
Yeah, it looks stupid.
or an old school submarine.
I don't get why a spaceship looks like a seafaring vessel.
It's because
Well,
they've kit bashed it. That's why.
At least it doesn't have the actual wooden sailing ship attached to the rear
Oh,
end
yeah.
of it, like that other
Yeah.
one.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
one
yeah, I
sucks.
guess clearly. I mean, of course, this is a 3D render. It was originally a 2D anime, just cell drawn anime. So the ship looks a little bit different there, but this is basically the idea. It looks like a World War II battleship that flies through space, and yeah, kind of a
Here you go, folks. Atom Gray.
nothing design.
I love this.
To each their own, Adam, but I'm going to agree to
Yep.
disagree with you, friend.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all.
Why does it need anchors? It has anchors up at the front, but it's
I guess in case you want to play Space Pirates. I don't know. I mean, what is it going to hook onto? Like a planet or a star?
Well, does it float in water? Does it actually go in the water?
That's a good question.
Don't know.
It's just
Anybody
it's a
knows?
lazy design. That's all it is. It's lazy.
It's almost like an AI rendering that someone's just thrown together for a laugh.
Oh,
Yes.
so Brown created it. Gotcha.
Battleship that flies.
Here you go, Spilex. It's a battleship carrying Liam Neeson, the Wanger, clearly. Yes. Certainly big enough.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
He's got to have some way to get around.
Yeah, that's true.
There's
Sorry,
part of
Jay.
this. There's one of these on apparently for sale. A Lego
Sorry,
version.
Matt.
A
Believe
Lego
it or not.
version.
Yeah, on Amazon at the moment. It's from a third party because clearly Lego wouldn't touch this piece of shit.
Here you go, common people. The panel are just boomers confirmed. We've never said anything other.
Wow. I'm definitely not a boomer, but thank you for the
No.
compliment.
No. No. I have seen this show and I do enjoy it. I just, as far as the design of a spaceship, it's not a spaceship.
Um,
Yeah, you know what it is? It's shit.
yeah. Cheers.
It has the same out of place vibe that the space whales do from Ashoka.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, you had to
yeah.
go there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Space Battleship Yamato. Everybody.
Yamato.
Try maximum drone ship flight of the navigator.
Oh yes, of course. The Flight of the Navigator.
Who remembers that?
I do.
Yeah.
Disney,
Oh, yeah.
apparently.
You see, they've got a documentary on this, haven't they? They talk about how
Yeah,
they
I
did
heard
the
about
effects
that.
and stuff, and some of the stuff they did is pretty amazing.
Yeah, could have been.
Is it? I mean, it's an alien design, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it felt very alien in the show
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie.
Am I the only one that thinks it's kind of a cool looking ship? Maybe it's because I saw the movie when I was real tiny, but I was like, oh, that's a cool ship. But
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I always confuse Flight of the Navigator with the Cat from Outer Space. It's the same film in my mind.
because I mean, you can see like
Disney.
the
Yep.
you can see like the aerodynamics like kind of carved into the top and the bottom of the ship and stuff. And instead of trying to keep it boxy, they made it more of like almost like a rounded design. But I think they did try to be as innovative as they could with it. But I mean, this was what, the 80s? So
well, from the film, you'll remember too that it can change shape. It can change shape for different modes. The internal part of it could kind of change shape, like it was like a living metal kind of thing from T2.
That's right.
They had real problems making this thing work because of the reflections.
Yeah.
And if you see that documentary, they did all kinds of things like false perspective and all kinds of, and it's pretty amazing how they solved most problems without. They had a little, I don't know, I think it was the start of CGI, I think, at that time, but they had to do a lot of practical stuff with it. So I only like the design because of the film, it takes me back when I was a kid. Well, kind of a kid watching it, kind of thing.
Kind of.
But the kid went on like I guess like what feels like a really cool adventure. Yeah, he goes forwards because his younger brother is older than him when he gets back.
Yeah, it's not a bad film. It's something. It's a film where if you're a kid, you'd wish you wish you were him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why I enjoyed it. It's like, oh, that seems so cool.
Him, or they, them?
Just him.
It does take a few story cues from E.T.
Yes.
A little bit. Yeah. But overall, I think it's an enjoyable film when Walt Disney could still make enjoyable.
Yeah, I thought it was getting remade, but has it already been made?
No, it's in production hell. Pre-production hell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. The poll's closing in a second, folks. Not that it's going to make any difference. Okay, that's Trimaxion drone ship, Flight of the Navigator.
Jessica Parker was in that film.
What?
As I recall, yeah.
In Flight of the Navigator?
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
I just remember the ship and the little boy, basically. And
it's a poop from an Naboo starfighter, apparently.
Also, Veronica Cartwright. What was her name in Alien? She was in it as well. So yeah, I remember the cast. I wonder what that little boy looks like now.
Let's not go there.
It's weird to think back that the voice of that ship was Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, it was.
What?
Was it? Yeah, I didn't know that. That was
Paul Rubens did the voice of Max, the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ending the poll, everybody. It's not going to make any difference.
I mean, it's on Prime Video. You should be able to watch it if you're subscribed to Prime. But yeah, so.
Holy cow!
Okay, the results are in, folks. In reverse order, last fourth place, Trimaxion drone ship, Flight of Navigator, 5%. Third place, SSV Normandy SR2 Mass Effect, 8%. Second was Space Battleship Yamato, 14%. And what a surprise, Imperial Star Destroyer, 71%.
Big surprise.
Of course. Yeah.
Worthy winner?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Very much so. Yeah.
Definitely.
Please discuss why it's a worthy winner while I put the vote in for the next.
I think we've given our thoughts on that. Can we?
We have indeed.
Stop it. Go on. Why is it? Go on.
Okay, I want to know how the Yamato one got second place. What the hell?
Because it was better.
got some fans, clearly. Yeah.
Evidently. Just saying.
Yamato.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yamato. Or Yamato.
It's a classic anime. Very good. But
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Neither have I. I'm not huge on anime. I did watch some, but I have not seen a ton. I'm just not into it.
Speaking of anime, John Wick anime on the way, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
That cartoon, the one we were talking about a couple of days ago, that started on Friday? Scott Pilgrim, the cartoon starting on Friday, I think. Yeah, on Friday on Netflix. So yeah, I did like Spirited Away though. That's an anime, right? Spirited Away.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Well, it's a
love
movie,
film.
not a film, but yeah. Or
No,
it's
so
a
I'm
film,
just
not
saying,
a show.
would you class that as anime though?
Yeah.
Oh, right, there you go.
It's kind of its own. I mean, when you think about the different Studio Ghibli productions, I mean, they're definitely Japanese animation. I don't know. I mean, I guess depends on who you would ask whether they would classify it that way or not. But I think it is. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great movie. It really
is. I love anything, just about anything produced by Studio Ghibli. So many good ones. My daughter is particularly fond of some of those films, especially what is it? My Friend Totoro is her.
Oh, that's
favorite.
really good as well.
Yeah.
That and the animation, the detail in animation is amazing. Like when they're standing in the rain and the drops of rain on the umbrella and on his nose and stuff. It's pretty cool.
My Neighbor Totoro. I said it wrong. I'm losing my nerd card. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's it. In the bin, Artoo.
Oh,
you already look like a trash can.
Yes.
Oh, Jay.
They are some tough. Trust me, Jay. We workshopped this like crazy, and there was no way to get out of the tough choices.
I'm not going to sleep tonight. Okay.
Who's going to read it? No, just kidding.
Well, it obviously give you pleasure.
Oh, come on. That was a funny comment. That's why we keep Jay around.
Do you
He's
want to
awesome.
read it then?
Oh, fuck you, Brown. Those are some tough choices.
Consider me fucked.
Okay. I'm never going to hear the end of it on Friday, am I?
Probably not.
Can you imagine if it was the 32? There'd be a lot of disappointed people. No way. Okay.
Indeed.
Let's move on.
Once again, just hearing the theme song in my head as we look at this.
This is a spaceship. Yes, I know, but oh no! Why would anyone vote for this? Come on,
it's brilliant.
I'm
what
sorry,
are you
but I
talking
did.
about?
I know,
I
but
voted for this.
Yeah, I know, but it's not your classic spaceship design, is it? It's just a box, a blue box.
Well, it's not supposed to be. This
I
is
know
what
it's
it
not
looks
supposed to
like.
be.
That's not what it is.
I know it's not supposed to be, but seriously though,
you're very hard to please, Ian.
It shouldn't
Dude,
even
it
be
is
in
a
here
spaceship. Time and relative dimension in space.
Well,
That's what
technically-
TARDIS stands
There
for.
you go.
Well, technically, it's not because it doesn't even travel
Bro.
through space. It travels through in between spaces, doesn't it? In between time.
Yeah,
space.
but
So
it
it's
does
kind of-
like they have shown it traveling through space on the show
Yeah, I
several
know,
times
but
as well.
still, compared to what? Compared to the X-Wing?
And even Doctor Who, the Doctor refers to it as a spaceship. He even
Well, he
says,
would,
"This is my
wouldn't he?"
spaceship."
Yeah, the first Doctor especially referred to it as his ship.
Yeah, he didn't know what he was
Yeah.
talking about, though. It was just growing Doctor Who, wasn't
That's
it?
it. Ian
Those
goes in the
days.
bin.
Here you go. Tom has some thoughts. Oh my God. Shouting, by the way. Oh my God. What is the spaceship Yamato? That's not a ship. / Ooh, look, it's the TARDIS.
The TARDIS has a lot more class. It's bigger on the inside. What other
Seriously.
spaceship can compete with this? Like,
Yeah.
in that kind of respect. Just saying.
Which,
pretty awesome ship.
Yeah, but we're talking about spaceships. I mean, this is just a box. So
Is this
Say-
definitely
like,
is this
It's not
definitely a
just a
space
box,
shit,
Ian.
then?
It's the box.
yeah,
That's what she said.
Yeah. if you
Well,
wanna
and
go
the
down
cool
that.
thing
Ian's
is-
only fucked off because Doctor Who's
No.
dead, everybody.
Well,
that's fair.
it's
Oh, is it ever?
remains
not
to be
even
seen,
resting.
right? It remains to be seen, but as I said, I mean, yeah, you can call it a spaceship if you want, but it's just a blue box, isn't it? I mean, it's a nice. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was a
Ian,
cool
what are you trying to
idea.
say?
I'm just trying to say that it's not I don't think it's a spaceship, even though it travels through space. It's not a ship, is it? I mean, it is, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's a weird choice.
It's like Ian, you know, as much as I love you, I might have to agree to disagree with you on this. If,
Yeah,
if the doctor
get
says
fucked,
it's a
Ian.
spaceship, it's a spaceship for crying out loud. And like, how many times have we seen it like rotating through space, or when the doctor travels with it, even with the doors open in space, it's literally traveling in space, but it can travel through time and dimensions as well. It's just, it is also a spaceship.
I'm not disputing that it's a spaceship. All I'm disputing that why it's in this list, because it's not. It's just a box. It's not like a well-designed.
Plus, wasn't the
ship, you know what I mean?
Wasn't the infinite size of the inside of the TARDIS like kind of in relation to space, because the size of space or the universe is infinite, and the TARDIS, we really don't know how big it is on the inside, right? Because they keep showing us more and more of it, so we don't know.
Here you go, Ian. Drew's with you.
This is a proper nerd battle, this, isn't it?
Brian, have you any thoughts about it?
What do you say? What do you say about this public call box? If it's anything like the ones in Glasgow, which they still have them to this day, it'll be covered in urine and stinking on the outside, which is probably why they need the extra space on the inside so they can get away from the smell.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, it's not even like it was designed by someone. It was designed by someone for the 60s, and it's a real thing.
Had a budget.
I mean, you don't find an X Fighter in real life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So X Fighter was designed by someone. This is just taken from.
But the cool thing is the idea
UK
behind
history.
it was it's got the chameleon. I forget what they call it, but the chameleon thing on it that makes it blend in with like regular stuff, and it got stuck on the police box. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool idea and cool concept for being on a budget.
It hasn't worked properly since series 1, episode 1. There you go.
Well, it has. Right. It has worked.
Sixth Doctor got it working.
Yeah. And because of whamming, River Song could work it better than a Doctor. So there you go. Yeah.
Well, but you have to understand the whole River Song thing happened before this whole wokeness and women awesome, men suck.
That's
thing.
not true. BBC One was well on the case before we even recognized what they were doing. Well on the case.
Yeah, but that was before it was trendy to do so. I mean, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I really like the Doctor and River Song's story, but that's just me. I think it's very sweet. But
David Tennant or Matt Smith.
I like all of them.
Because
I
Matt
think it's
Smith
very
looked
interesting.
like her son, and she looked too old for him. And I was, they're kissing.
Now that part was kind of
mum and son kissing.
It was awkward at first, right? But then when you think about it, the character, he was older than her anyways. No. At least it wasn't like him and Rose. Like the Doctor was 900 years old and he was trying to date some 18-year-old chick. That was gross.
I thought that was
at least River was like 200 when they hooked
up.
Talk
amongst yourselves, everybody. Let's just listen to Reni and
his a companion's daughter hooking up with his companion's daughter. That's
I'm sorry, River Song is not, the woman is not attractive at all, right?
No, she's not.
Her face is plumpy, she's a bit plump. She's not
very good
actress. When she kisses Matt Smith, it feels like she's kissing her son. It just was
really. I did like her and Peter Capaldi together in the one episode they were in together. That was really cute.
At least at the same age.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
poor Capaldi. Poor Capaldi got such terrible scripts.
He got horrible
He was
writing, but
such
he's
a good doctor.
He was
such a good doctor.
I love him.
Such crummy scripts.
Z, your thoughts?
I love this blue box. I love this ship. I have ever since the moment I saw it. I thought how utterly ridiculous it looks.
Yeah,
to have a blue box flying through space and time, but it's become an iconic part of British culture and around the world. I can't wait to see the next series. I really can't.
I can.
I definitely preferred when they had it sort of dangling off a piece of fish line in front of the camera from the 1970s and 80s instead of the CGI one that spins around like a top in the
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Not Doctor Who, but Doctor What? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dr. Irie.
Dr. Irie. I'd write something.
Not long to wait now, Ian.
Well, all I can say is Doctor Who's in a skirt. That's probably gonna
Not a
I'm
kilt.
probably not going to be watching that shit.
not a kilt.
Because I think anything after Capaldi is just not worth my time.
I will keep saying this. Doctor Who should never been a woman. Doctor Who should never been
correct.
Black. Sorry.
Well, and if you're going to have William Hartnell be the first Doctor and then be retcon and be like, just kidding, he was actually a little girl that got killed a million times before he became the Doctor. I'm like, and I'm out.
You got it
Bye-bye.
wong, Reni. A little black girl.
What?
A little black girl. You
Well,
forgot to mention.
there's that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
And that was the moment Doctor Who died.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. So I won't be back.
When they gave it over to Chris Chibnall. Ugh.
But what's his name? Russell T Davies. He's no better, and Chibnall's supposedly like a friend of his. Yeah, I think he just basically kept his original wants for the storylines to a minimum because it wasn't trendy to do what he probably wanted to do at the time. So I think if he had the choice, he probably would have had a very woke Doctor as well. So
you know what, right? All this woke stuff was in the making from the 70s onwards. I'm telling you, right? You just didn't see it. You just, I mean, all I have to mention.
That might be stretching, Ian.
No, all I have to mention is
Jesus.
Larry Grayson's Generation Game.
Oh.
That's all I have to mention, right? That was during the 70s, right? And then not only him, but then what is it? What's that one? Are You Being Served?
I'm free.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It was in the making, right? The woke stuff was in the making from the 70s, and they were called the Pink Mafia at that moment in time. They were literally grabbing hold of power as the years went on. I'm not even kidding here, because I was witness some of it. So as I'm saying, it's been in the making for a really long time, and now it's here. That's why
it's here, folks.
Yeah.
May I do a super chat, please? Common people for £5, real money, allegedly. As my old dad used to say, how many times have I told you to knock?
His dad's got a lot of sayings.
Yes, he's a very, very wise man. Very, very, very wise man.
I need a favor, if I may, Brown. Can you highlight that comment from Eraserhead?
Eraserhead. I like that film.
It's really funny.
Oh, sorry, chat moved up. You mean this one? Are you going to read it?
You have to read it.
No.
That's a terrible
joke.
That's a terrible thing to say, Eraserhead.
The crucifixion of Christ was the start of woke. Yeah.
Sorry, just picking on you. I'm sure that's all he's doing.
No, but
woke
I mean,
started in Roman times, everybody.
Woke, yeah. You just got to look at.
It was the Romans. What did the Romans ever do for us?
Remember that? Remember that scene in it where the guy says he wants to be a woman? Do you remember?
I want to be called Loretta. Anyway, I want
to be called Loretta. Yeah.
On a parting note for the TARDIS, my husband and I went to Austin, Texas this summer on a quick vacation. He was talking about it in the chat, and we took. It's really weird. We met some friends out at this barbecue joint that was outside of Austin, and it had nothing to do with Doctor Who, but there was a TARDIS there, so we took a picture with it. So, yeah, it was fun. I was like, "Oh my god, look, it's a TARDIS!" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Look at it." He's like, "Oh my god, it's a TARDIS." So, yeah, we had to take pictures with it.
Let's move on.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Welcome to Spaceship Porn on Mr. Brown Alliance, A-Wing, Star Wars, A-Wing, Interceptor.
It's okay.
I'd like to go first. Reni.
ASMR wing.
Not the biggest fan of this design. Definitely can see how it can be a bit aerodynamic, but it looks like I don't know how to describe it, but it just doesn't look like a great ship. It's basically for hand-to-hand combat, so to speak, or you know what I mean, like when you're doing small ships or small combat. But yeah, not a big fan.
Did Ralph McQuarrie design this one? He did, didn't he?
You could be correct. I do not remember.
I would assume so.
I had an Airfix model of this. Yeah.
I don't think he did. He might have done. I don't know.
Strip color.
Oh, yeah. This is built for speed. It's a very
comfort.
No, not for Gummer.
for
Yeah, no,
comfort.
it's an interceptor, so it's meant to be very, very fast. It's not particularly heavily armed or heavily shielded. That was the design, the concept of it. Of course, if you play any of the X-Wing or TIE Fighter games, then that was really its role as an interceptor, kind of like the TIE Fighter that we saw earlier, the TIE Interceptor. It's meant to be fast, and so I think the design of it does, definitely make it look fast. I don't know if I particularly love it as a starship, and not as much as some of the other iconic designs from Star Wars, but it is interesting.
Brian, you used to love Star Wars. Any thoughts?
Yes, well, the RZ-1 A-Wing Interceptor, also known as the RZ-1 A-Wing Starfighter, was a wedge-shaped starfighter manufactured by Hot Systems Engineering, which took design inspiration from the Republic starfighters of the Clone Wars. I hate this design. It's terrible. It's absolutely fucking awful. And apparently this piece of shit would set you back an astonishing 175,000 Republic credits.
What?
Not a favourite of mine. Not at all.
Brian destroying it with class. I like it.
Yeah.
Z?
Not a fan. It reminds me a little bit of the flying sub from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Everyone
Yeah.
remembers that.
Yeah.
It had the two
The yellow thing.
tail fins. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I mean, it's got one iconic moment after the shields of the Star Destroyer are taken down and it rams the bridge. But aside from that, that's all you really get to see of it. And the toy you just couldn't get for love nor money because they didn't release it in the main Kenner line. It came with Star Wars droids, which we didn't get much of over here.
Okay. I know I had the Airfix model kit. Here you go, Princess Fiona. Macquarie did concept art for this, but it looks cooler than the final designs.
I've seen the concept art. I was looking at the same thing. The concept art looks a lot like the Thunder Fighter from that we did earlier.
Yes,
from
Buck Rogers. Yeah,
Buck Rogers. Yeah.
I suppose they're limited by the materials and stuff they've got available at the time. We're not talking 3D printing.
I just remembered what this reminded me of. From like a top view or overhead view, it looks kind of like a red and white tick. Like the things that'll bite you.
Is this the ship? I can't remember where I saw it. This is the ship where that guy screams and it goes straight into the window, and
you can see the car going through. Yeah.
Right.
Kamikaze.
Okay. But this ship, I don't really like this design at all. I think it's horrible. But it reminds me. I think it's the C5 of the Star Wars models, isn't it? Do you remember the C5? It's like that, really.
Sinclair C5 Star
Wars. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? Let's face it. Anyway, whatever. Gay wing interceptor.
Anus wing. That's a good one.
I've been burgled, which is never pleasant. Wing. U-wing is a superior wing. Okay.
Oh, what? Love this. Again,
what?
I do love it. Again, this is a one clever design.
That's huge.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
Yeah, it's very unusual, and when I first saw it in Alien, I just loved it. I was like, that is just. I mean, it does look. When you look closely, it is kit bashed, obviously. From the very first shot you see as it goes past the camera, you can tell it's been kit bashed. But I just love the design. I think it just looks like a city on big balls, basically.
I will say,
really nice.
I will say, folks, if you've not voted, please vote. Very, very close.
It looks like a proper functional ship, like the Cygnus from Black Hole and Red Dwarf, like a ship built for a specific purpose. And I just love the towers.
Hold on. So let me just ask a question. If this is called the USS Nostromo, what was the dropship called?
Dropship?
Anybody? Because I always thought that was called the Nostromo.
No.
No.
Oh, so anybody know what
chat
it's
help
called?
us out.
No, aren't you referring to the Sulaco?
No, the ship that came out of this thing when they landed.
Oh, that.
It was a
What's that
triangular
called?
shape.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
that
wasn't it?
called?
The
Anybody
dart
know
shaped thing,
what
wasn't
that's called? Because I always thought that was called the Nostromo, but this is called the Nostromo. Oh, if anybody knows, let me know.
I think I fooked the USC. Sorry, folks. Should have been that one. Sorry.
Jump out the
now you gotta
window,
go in
Brown.
the bin.
What do
I'm
you mean?
going
He's
to
got
jump
it
out the
right.
window after the stream. Don't worry.
It's the USCSS Nostromo.
But what's the dropship called then? Because I've always known the dropship as the Nostromo. I don't know what. Oh, maybe I'm making a mistake. I'll look it up.
Maybe that back part is the refinery part of it. Because that's, to me, that's what this looks like. It looks like a flying oil refinery.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's a good reference. I like
have
that.
I fucked this up then? That says that's
Yeah,
not
because
the
the chat's
Nostromo.
yelling at you left and right, man. They're
Okay.
pretty brutal tonight. Yikes. Ouch, folks.
Okay.
Yikes.
Be nice to Brown, please.
Okay, shall we bin this one then? Let's bin
No,
this.
it's a really good design. I really like it.
Well, do we know the
anyway.
name of this one then?
I don't. I'm looking it up, trying to look it up now.
Sorry, folks. I'm only human. Sorry.
Nostromo.
That is the Nostromo, is it not?
I don't know.
Nostromo is the mile-long oil refinery. So
You're probably right,
ship
but
was the shuttle.
if that's the case, then what's the dropship called then? Because I always thought that was the Nostromo, but I'm probably
You
wrong.
go, Atom Gray. Yes, Brown, you fucked up. Shows the Phoenix.
Is it what?
Well, I guess we better move on then.
Maybe check the private chat, Brown.
Nostromo images of the Nostromo. So
this is
look,
listed under the images.
Yeah,
when
so
I try to Google
the
it.
dropship says the images that I've seen. The dropship says it is the USS Nostromo, but then we've got the refinery, and what do they call that then? Visit. I don't know what they call it. It's called the Nostromo as well. They're both called the Nostromo.
So it's like it's towing the refinery. Or...
That's
Nostromo
the
part
two
1
different
and
parts.
2.
being towed.
Yeah,
That's the refinery being towed by the main ship.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay, so there will be the Nostromo there somewhere on that.
Nostromo refinery?
We've saved it, folks. Just.
Drew Gordon says it's the bogged down ship.
Reference to Nostromo, blah blah blah. It literally
Anyway,
is
it's the
called
Nostromo, folks.
The Nostromo. Both of them are called the Nostromo. It's really weird how both. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just I googled Nostromo images, and that's what came up. So,
but even the dropship is called the Nostromo. So,
bearing in mind, I think I'd been working on the slides for about 6 hours, so I was going pie-eyed at this moment.
Keep in mind,
model.
Brown's a vegan, so he has a different, sensory perception as well. So there is that.
Can I just, if I may interject for a bit? According to the alienanthology.fandom.com, the Nostromo is the one that is hauling the oil refinery, and the oil refinery is what we see in this picture here.
Okay,
right.
So
that clears that up. So
the
chat were well ahead of us there.
So what's the dropship called then? Do they say what the dropship's called?
Oh, I'm more confused now, Ian.
Are you?
Please move on, for the love of God. 25 to 1 in the morning.
I think we're getting bogged down in my uselessness.
I've got to find out what it's called, because I said every picture says it's called the Nostromo. It's weird.
Yeah, I think the bit that they take down is, I think that is the Nostromo, is it not? And then it's just also hauling this refinery thing.
For the love of God, can we move on? For Christ.
Definitely bogged.
There you go, Jay. Nostromo is the dropship.
Right, gotcha.
Narcissus, that's the escape ship.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks, Jay. Okay, so Nostromo, it'll be in there somewhere. So apologies, I
do like
human.
this design though. I do like it. It's a shame you didn't get a picture of, because this looks like a painting. Is this a painting?
Probably.
Or is that the real model?
Yeah, it looks like it.
It looks like a frame from the film.
You can rest assured I will jump out the window after the stream. So
Yep,
okay.
into a fire.
Here we go. Last one for this section. If you've not voted, please vote. Very, very close.
Oh, yes.
Look at that.
Battle of the Planets. Fantastic.
Phoenix. Look at that.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Japanese design.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to remember this show.
Yeah, I
I
watched
don't
it.
know what this
me
is
too.
from.
Battle of the
It's
Planets.
from the
a cartoon.
anime series.
Yeah.
Battle of the Planets. Very
Chat
popular
liking
in
this.
Britain in the early
Yeah.
80s. Love this ship from the moment I saw it. You see all of the individual teams' vehicles
Yeah.
get absorbed into the ship, don't they? Like Princess goes up in one of the pods, and Keop goes in the other one of the pods, and the Jason's motorcycle and Mark's fighter goes right in the nose cone. It really is a lovely ship.
I like the colours as well.
Primary colours, yeah, really good.
That render doesn't really do it justice, does it?
It doesn't, no.
As I said, it's really, really difficult to find pictures of the originals where the resolution is enough for screening, because obviously a lot of these are old ships, so I have to go with the renders because the resolution's better. Reni, you a fan of this?
Not really. It looks a lot like almost like a fighter plane to me, but I was not really huge into anime, so I didn't see the show this was in. Ergo, I can't not be a huge fan. So apologies to anyone who really likes this ship. Nothing personal to you guys.
Get in the bin, Reni.
I know, right? I'll be
Stretch
there
it,
in just
bin
a
love.
second.
Right.
But I mean, it looks like a very fast and speedy ship. I understand why they call it the Phoenix, probably because of the coloring and
No, because it could turn
design?
into a flame.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It can
Very
actually
cool.
transmute itself into a bird-shaped flame. Yeah.
Very cool. Did not know
Here you
that.
go. Punchable face. I used to watch this with my mates on acid after we came back from clubbing. Yes! Nice one, mate. Brilliant.
So yeah,
Well,
it's not going to be my favorite.
Well, it used to be shown at when you came back from school, so I don't see how he could watch it after clubbing unless they
Perhaps
showed
he
it in
owned
morning.
the VHS and taped it.
Oh, maybe,
or,
maybe.
DVD or
Yeah, maybe.
technologies have new technologies that have come about since it was
Betamax.
Stream Killer. R2.
Not sure I've got much to say on this one. Yep.
Ian.
I like this ship. I think it's great personally. I mean, I mean, the only reason why I think it's great is I like the design. Obviously, this is not doing any justice to it. I like the design, and also I love
You go VHS.
Yeah, VHS, and also I love the cartoon when I was a kid. I loved it all. Yeah, so that's the reason why I like it. I think it's a good design as well.
Yeah. Brian, I've asked you.
Well, kind of. There's a collectible you can buy of this that actually has a plastic coating in kind of translucent orange that you put over it as if it's on fire, the way it did in the show. But I used to love this. I need to try and watch it as an adult, the uncensored version. I believe the UK showed the very much censored version. They had the strange R2D2 type robot that would talk over bits. I think it was the same one that was shown in the States, possibly as well. But I'd love to go back and revisit this. But it was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and I absolutely adored this spaceship. And as Zee said, the way that all the other ships and bikes went in straight into it as well. It's fab.
Brilliant.
I thought it was weird. I say this again. I thought it was weird that they always showed Princess's knickers for some reason.
I was literally just about to say
that. What was the name of the baddie? Them, weren't they? They were a hermaphrodite.
They were, yes. They were both.
Yeah, couldn't quite make their mind up. Okay. I will say you've got seconds to vote, everybody.
Vote for the Phoenix.
No, the TARDIS.
Seconds to vote. Seconds. Here you go. Yes. Zoltar.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
for a kid's cartoon, that was like, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. When they did they had that one episode towards the end of the series, didn't they, where they did the reveal and
Yeah.
he pulled his mask off and long hair and nice big red ruby lips.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to close the poll, folks. I'm going to close the poll. Talk amongst yourselves. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go then. The results.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
The results are in, folks. 61 votes. Okay. Bringing up the rear, a wing interceptor, 16%. Third place, the TARDIS, 24.
Shocking.
24. Second place, USC Nostromo, which I messed up. Apologies. Alien, 26%.
How did how did that a refinery or whatnot get second place? That's weird.
Because people were voting for the miniature Nostromo, what was pulling it.
Okay.
And then Alien.
And it's Alien, yeah. And the winner was Phoenix, Battle of the Planets, with 32%. So that's the winner, folks.
That just goes to show how unpopular Doctor Who is. You know what I mean? Go back a couple of years and Doctor Who would have cleaned up.
Oh,
now
probably. Uh-oh.
Hello, Reni. Are you back?
I think so. I didn't even
You're a
realize I dropped
nipple.
out. I know. I got to correct that.
You're a nipple. Okay. There is one more round. Do you want to do one more round?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Here we
Talk
go.
amongst yourselves.
Oh, no.
I will do the poll.
Another one.
So how hard do you think Brown's going to go on this poll?
Well,
hard and fast, obviously.
Do you remember when Wednesday nights used to be good, Chad? Do you remember that? Remember we used to enjoy ourselves on the Wednesday night?
Right.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I remember
Way back when.
Your fault, Brian.
Just to look at Brownie.
Yeah, I know. Instead of you remember Brown used to love doing these streams that would torture the hell out of us. Like when we did like The Last Jedi, and I'm like, I literally want to kill myself right now. I don't even know if anybody ended that stream like not intoxicated. You know what I mean? In some sort of way.
That stream was running alcohol and pure rage for 2.5 hours.
Amongst other things. Yeah.
We should revisit it. Make it an annual stream. Just revisit
Annual
it.
punishment.
Yeah. What is
Penance.
this? Punish a regular stay? I mean, seriously.
Just about to start the poll, folks.
Every Valentine's Day, we can come back, watch the movie that we just love so much.
I get enough punishment on Valentine's Day without watching anything.
Well, I would say Thanksgiving, but then we don't do that everywhere. So
we don't do that over here.
We don't. Not yet.
Oh, your loss.
Yeah, I know. I love celebrating 2 Christmases. So yeah.
Right then, folks. I'm going to start the poll. If there's any mistakes, I apologize.
Take your punishment.
Up and running. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be jumping out the window later. Okay, so.
I want to hear glass breaking.
No, we'll open the window. We'll open the window. I'm not going to jump out the window. Open it first. Okay, let's move on.
Oh, this is a tough one. Yep.
Executive class, Super Star Destroyer.
That's where Darth Vader lives.
Big one is that.
That's Darth Vader's Star Destroyer, man.
It is.
Yep. That is my probably favorite spaceship of all time, or my favorite design of all time. I've always really loved Darth Vader Star Destroyer. Well, until I stopped watching Star Wars. Thank you, Disney. But that's one thing that my husband can even tell you when we're getting to know each other. He's like, well, what do you think is the coolest design? I was like, what the hell do you think? Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. It's like the best like ship ever. And I just love how it's got the blue trim or the blue enhancements. It looks like basically, if you look at it like from an aerial view, it looks like basically a giant arrowhead, which is really cool. I mean, it's sleek, it's pretty, it's huge. It's just, I can't say enough cool things about it. My favorite ship of all time.
Quick super chat, if I may. Shogun Auto. I think this is replying. This is to the alien. $5. Look up the ship name by the way of its model kit if you want to know the name for sure. Yeah. That'll be down to the dropship, the Nostromo.
I like how that ship went through the asteroid field and no asteroid hit it at all.
Yeah. It was indestructible at the moment.
Because Darth Vader was using the Force, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, they had the turbo lasers firing off, like kind of taking out anything that kind of came towards it. You saw little explosions around it and stuff. Just such a beautiful ship. Couldn't think that you could take the Star Destroyer and then just make it like 10x cooler. But they designed this just really, really awesome ship.
It's so simple but so pretty.
Here you go, folks. Johnny Lawrence's mum. I don't like this one. It's the shittiest slice of pie. The one they cut up into 1 million slices so no one at the office I'll start again. The one they cut up into 1 million slices so no one at the office potluck misses out on.
Oh, okay. I'm sad to hear that, but to each their own. But I still think it's pretty.
Asteroids do not concern me. I want that ship, not excuses. So
that's right.
And then, of course, when you get the demise of this ship and you see how incredibly small it is compared to the Death Star.
Yeah.
That's really one of those moments of like, oh, wow. Oh, that's cool.
Because the second Death Star was bigger than the first. Yeah.
Brian, you a fan?
I'm going to shock you and say that I'm not a massive fan of this ship.
Brian!
The Star Destroyer is the original, and this one is a bit kind of derivative of it. And the fact that they just tried to make it bigger than the other one, it kind
go big or go home.
Takes it takes some of the magnificence away from the Star Destroyer. It's kind of a J.J. Abrams move, except Lucas did it first.
Totally agree.
It does look nice.
It bigger.
I like the colours. I like the red engines at the back, and I like the blue lighting at the front. But no, not one of my favourites. Sorry, Ren. I'm sorry, Ren.
Is there more? Is there a larger running track for the Space Horse on this one?
Yes, it's a full blown.
I think Brown secretly is a fanboy of the Space Horses.
Space Horses. You just know Star Wars at that moment was truly shafted. Z?
What does Darth Vader need a ship this big for?
To prove his his dominance over everyone.
He lost more than arm and some legs in that fire.
Yeah, he's compensating for something.
So he's compensating.
He should have had the battleship Yamato.
Oh my God.
Princess Fiona, it's had something like 91,000 fiber optic lights and took a crew of over 30 people 6 months to make. They barely finished in time.
Dude, that's why old school practical effects, man, totally worth it.
Always.
And it took Kenny Baker 3 hours to get inside it.
Question, if I may. If it was real life, yes, how long would it take for a ship like that to be built?
Depends if you're talking about futuristic stuff that they got in the future or even in this universe, then it might not take them long because of the stuff they've got. Like, we've got tractors and crane lifts and stuff. They might have something that's completely,
slaves.
Yeah. Well, that's true, I guess.
Yeah, but it's the size is what I'm saying, because it's so
massive.
Well,
it's here you go, decades. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends on the technology they've got to build, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah, because if it's 100 years in the future, it might not be that bad.
Here you go, Smilex.
Long time ago in
Chinese
a
could knock
galaxy
it up.
far, far away.
Yeah, Chinese could knock that up in a weekend.
Oh, please.
If it's the same team that's doing HS2, it'd probably take about a millennia to put together.
Cancel it halfway through building.
Yeah.
Did they build the second Death Star, those? The same company? I think I might check. Z, you available, mate?
I am. Max Vroomfondle in the chat says,
Oh, no.
What? Billion months.
That was my headphones off. Now it's back.
Yeah, I had to pull my earplugs out. I'm like, ah!
1 billion.
Okay. So we like it, or do we not?
No.
It's a 50-50. It's a 50-50, is it?
I do. I like it.
I like it.
It's nice.
It's okay. It's not the one I voted for.
Here you go. I've been burgled, which is never nice. If Mexicans are on it, maybe in a week or two. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch the South Park episode to get that. But yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, let's move on.
Ah, the Odyssey.
Odyssey, Ulysses 31. Who would like to go first?
That's a pretty cool render, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's very good. It's a great ship, isn't it?
It is. Swappers will be
Creaming himself.
annoyed because he's missed all his favourite ships on one stream.
You tried asking him.
I did.
Yeah.
Sorry, Swappers. Z, you like this? I do.
I love this ship and everything about it. It's just great, isn't it? It looks so unique and original.
Yeah.
And the animated version's, just as good. The way it just cruises through the sky and it's got its opening iris at the front. And the AI Shirka who's on board, absolute storming AI. Probably set the groundwork for all other ship AIs going forward. But I think it's majestic. It's great. And it takes some massive hits during the course of the show. It's not an invulnerable ship, and the gods literally throw everything but the kitchen sink at it, but it still keeps going.
It's a great cartoon.
It is, and available in HD on YouTube in full. So if you've not watched Ulysses 31, then go ahead.
Could
go
you possibly
and
post the link? See, I will say, everybody, Ulysses 31 is on YouTube, as Z just said. It's really good. It's really, really good. And there's an ending to it as well, which is good. It's really good cartoon. Artoo?
I had not even heard of this show until you guys were telling me about it just a few weeks ago. So I've watched an episode of this show. The ship is a really interesting design. I mean, I'll definitely give it that. And even in the animated version, it's amazingly detailed. There's just so much going on in the design of the ship. I don't know if it's for me. I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely a different design. It's certainly unique, but I just don't love it. Just don't. Not for me.
Z has posted the link to the series.
Yeah, you're probably better clicking on it instead of typing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really good, folks. Ian, did you see Ulysses 31?
No, no, I've never seen it, but I don't think much of the design. It's an eye, isn't it? Yeah. just an eye, isn't it?
Go on, say it for the chat. Go on, the chat are demanding it.
It is shit. Let's face it. It really is. It's just a big eye in space, you know.
There you go,
it's like,
folks.
well,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I mean, it the way it's designed like a big circle. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not safe at all. Do you know what I mean? If something's going to hit it, those corners are going to fall, aren't they? Like a pack of dominoes because of the way it's structured. So it's not a very safe ship.
You should check Ulysses 31 out. It's really good.
Maybe one
Really
day. But
good.
I get loads of things to do in my life. So yeah.
Brian?
Wait, do you know, I'm really biased now that I think about it, hearing just a couple of the arguments put forward. I absolutely loved this show. I think it might have been on run about the same time as the World Cup. Would that be 1986, possibly?
Yeah, it's early 82 to about 86, possibly.
Yeah, in the UK, but I love the way it was utilised in the show. It's like an eye within an eye.
Yeah,
an eye
as
for
well.
an eye.
And what I loved about the show was the fact that it had a proper ending. If you think back to some of the cartoons of the age that had a specific situation that they were in, there was always the tease that we're going to get home, we're going to get back, and they never quite made it. This one just had it all. And I just love the way it was utilised. So I'm going to be biased and say this is one of my favourites.
You go, big problema, quick hide before Filoni sees it.
Filoni.
Reni, you didn't see Ulysses 31.
I didn't. I will say I appreciate the creativity and the idea like of having a big eye looking like it's watching out, but I really enjoyed the comments in the chat as a comparison to Sauron. But I don't think it's the best design. I'll take it over that oil rig looking thing from Alien. But not much better. But hey, you know.
Folks, cheers, Smilex. First showed in UK 1985. Cheers, my friend. Yeah. Really, really good. Okay. That is Ulysses 31, Odyssey. Okay, let's see what's next. USS Reliant. Star Trekking. Who'd like to go first?
Come on, Brian. Give us your best con. Come on.
Brian.
All these Star Trek ships look the same to me.
Really?
Oh, come on.
I can't tell one
like
Star
the
Trek
disc,
ship from the
yes.
other.
The discs are similar.
I'm literally the worst person on the planet to ask about this, or even
Buried alive. Sorry.
Come
you know the origin.
There we go.
The origin of this ship is that they put the wings, or if you want to call them, upside down accidentally, and then they went, "Oh, let's have that then." So it was an accident, the design of this ship when they were building it. So because they put the saucer upside down on the wings, and they thought, "Oh, we'll go with that then." So so that's how it came to being, put it that way. But I do like it. I think it was really nice that the Federation ship looked very different compared to the Enterprise. So you knew who the baddie was. If it looked like a copy of the Enterprise, then you would just might be confused. But I do like this design. In fact, I think I had the model of this. My brother didn't sit on it. I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went. But I had I think it was Airfix model of it a long time ago.
You go, folks. Jim D. No deflected dish. What's that about? Yeah.
It's a different design.
Yeah.
Yes, no deflector dish though. Reni, you like this ship?
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it more when I see Khan getting killed in it. But but yeah, I actually thought, for its time, when I was watching these older movies with my mom as a kid, I was like, you know what, that's pretty innovative, knowing what little technology they had at the time, and they had to be as creative as possible, and they didn't want to look like this, that, or the other show or movie. So, you can say like what Fiona's saying, Enterprise knockoff, but, I think they did what they could to make it look like a Federation ship, but then differentiate it in the rest of the ship. So yeah, you've got the disc that looks similar, but everything else looks like, fairly different in my opinion. But I don't know. I don't think it's a bad ship. It's still pretty. It's just the Enterprise trumps it. And I'm glad that it got killed by the Enterprise. Bye, Con.
R2?
This is just it's a kit bash of the Enterprise. They pulled a bunch of parts and stuck them together, but I think it's a really cool design, and it definitely stood out. Like you said, it's not the same as the Enterprise. It's different enough that everyone's going to know when they see it on screen that this is a different ship. And they did more. I mean, they could have really gone a lot cheaper with it. They added some mass, some weight to the backside of the dish there. It's got that interesting little arch coming up across the top, which we know has some some part of the ship that does the photon torpedoes and stuff. I think it's a really interesting design. I thought it was a great foil for the Enterprise in Star Trek II, which great movie. But I mean, I like it. I certainly like it better than the what was the one that was introduced in Star Trek 3 that's got the
very good
the science ship. I can't remember the name of it.
The
Grissom.
The Grissom, yeah. It's got the little part kind of hanging out underneath it, but there's apparently no way to get to that except just beaming over. I don't know. I really like this design. It's interesting. And it's clearly it was supposed to be some kind of ship that would be on more exploratory, short missions where the Enterprise was meant for.
Still missing the deflector dish.
It is.
I quite like the Reliant Miranda class. Very good ship. I think it appeared in DS9 as well at some point.
Yeah, and TNG.
Yeah, it really is a nice counterpart in Wrath of Khan. I think one of the main reasons that they decided to stick with that design is so you can tell the difference during the dogfight scenes as to which ship was which, and it worked really well. It's nice to see some diversity in design.
Yeah.
What about representation?
They had a black captain.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did.
And a Russian first officer.
Paul Winfield, right?
Yeah,
was the captain. Yeah.
But anyway,
I will say the special effect shot of the Reliant going into the Mutara Nebula towards the end of the movie and disappearing into the Mutara Nebula, I think is probably the greatest special effect shot ever. Because it just looks incredible. All practical, looks amazing.
All of it. If you watch
incredible
the version of
ILM, amazing.
It just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It really does. So it's just I love practical. I love looking at the models of the ships today. It's all CGI. Just
Yeah.
Everyone was always wondering why the Enterprise wasn't getting the engine shot off of it, with them being out there on those struts, and of course they get to shoot one of the engines off of this in the film.
Okay, so USS Reliant, Star Trek, everybody.
Oh my lord! I love this ship. Love it.
Mothership, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Probably the same for the special edition as well.
Yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful design in my opinion. I'm going to go first because I love this ship so much. In fact, I love the film. The film made me want to become a director. So I got this film to blame for me being poor. But this, in my opinion, this is one of the best design alien ships kind of ever, in my opinion. You know how they got the idea for this? Spielberg was shooting Close Encounters, and they had an idea for the mothership, but he was umming and ahhing about it, and he got drunk, and he was out somewhere in the desert, and there was a refinery, and he was standing on his head, and he looked at the refinery from afar, and that's where they got the idea from. It's like a city stuck to a huge spaceship, basically. So he phoned them up and said, I've got another idea. Can we do it this way? And then they created this thing. And it's the only ship that's got RTD2 stuck to it. So
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
go. Brian, Close Encounters?
Yeah, it looks a bit like a twin spool turbine from a aircraft engine.
Yeah.
I think with the lighting effects, this ship looks truly special. Not so much when you see it without the kind of special effects, but I think one thing about the design, I think it very cleverly conveys the size of the ship. I mean, that's obviously it's helped by the way it's filmed as well, but you really get the impression that this thing is absolutely massive, and I think it was really perfect for the climax of the movie. Having been built up so much, it really needed something special at the end, and I think they delivered big time on this. It's a terrific design.
Not people realize that it didn't come from space; it came behind the mountain. That's how it was introduced, A lot of people get the impression that it came from space and landed, but it didn't. It came from behind the mountain. It just rised up, which is a bit odd, but hey, it worked.
Maybe it was cloaked.
Maybe.
Artoo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's classic movie. I made sure this one was in the list for you, Mega Geek. Just so you know, this was not in the original community suggestions, but when we were making sure to add some things in there, this one was in there just to get that reaction out of you. I got a great payoff there. So
I love it.
But yeah, no, it is a beautiful ship when it's shown in the film. You see it and it starts to light up and all the different colors and it flips over and everything. It's crazy looking and it's really interesting. I don't think it gets enough screen time, to be honest. It's a very, very pretty and interesting ship, but of course they needed to tell the story, not just show us some ship porn. So
Zee?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. It's like an overproduced music video. It's just far too busy. Too much going on. Something about this ship really just doesn't sit right with me. Never been a fan of it. It looks great on screen. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing when you see it on the big screen. But as a spaceship?
Yeah, I never quite understood all the little antenna things sticking off the sides of it.
It depends on when you've seen it, I guess, doesn't it? It depends on when you've seen it. If you saw it when I saw it when it was released, there was nothing like this ship ever in any science fiction. But then if you've seen it when you've seen other stuff and stuff like that, and you've watched it within the last 5 years, I guess you're going to come to that conclusion that it looks like a mess, I guess.
That's just me. I mean, other people think this ship is incredible and quite rightly so. It does look that way when it's on the screen. But for me, it's just too busy.
Certainly a lot going on. Okay, so Mothership, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
You never called on me.
Oh, sorry. Thought I had. Sorry, Reni, go on.
It's okay. No, I just I was never a huge fan of this ship, but I can see why everybody likes it. I feel like there's too much going on with it. But I think for the time they were doing what they could to make something original, so I give them props for that, but it's just not my favorite. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, Mothership, Close Encounters, Third Kind. Okay, would you like some results?
Why not?
Sorry.
We have a wiener.
Okay. Joint last, or the joint third, USS Reliance, Star Trek.
Oh, I love that ship.
Odyssey, Ulysses 31 on 17. That's 17%.
Robbed.
Big
Second, Mothership, Close Encounters, 23%. Ooh, and what a surprise. Executor Class, Superstar Destroyer, 41.
Is the finale of this going to be Star Destroyers versus Enterprises?
Probably.
I think
it's the match you've been waiting for.
Yeah, I think we might need to hot swap some of the Star Wars things, I think, Artoo.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it, folks. I think that's it. I will say thanks, everybody, for voting. Steady numbers as well. Really, really super steady numbers. Can you believe it? So,
Nice.
So, chat, you are wonderful. I will quickly do the wonderful Garth Knights. Super chat, $5. Will Ruin return to streams in the near future? And what do you think he would choose amongst these 4 spacecraft?
I think Ruin would have to choose not any of these 4, but he'd have to choose the Death Star for the roundness, clearly, to match his head.
What, to match his head?
Yes.
Dang.
Yes. Okay. I don't know. I think I need to. I will speak to Ruin, see if he's ready to return from his vacation, his rest and relaxation, as it was. So, cheers, Garth. Thank you, my friend. That is it then, folks. So, chat, you are wonderful. You know that. Cheers for the interaction and the super chats. Always wonderful to see you. We will see you next time. I will thank the guests. Mega Geek. Cheers, Ian.
No worries, guys. No worries.
He's been away for a while, but it's great to have him back. Not Brian Young.
Cheers, Brown. Very nice to be back. Thanks also to Zee, Artoo, Ian, Reni, and the chat. Thank you, everyone.
Reni L. Cheers, Reni.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone on the panel and in the chat. Even though you guys were salty about my choices, hey, to each his own. I don't begrudge you what you like, and hopefully not vice versa.
Reni's right.
But-
You're wrong, everybody. Deal with it.
Yeah, no, I don't begrudge people their opinions, and same to Ian as well. But Brian, just want to piggyback on that. It's great to have you back. I hope to see you here more often.
Cheers,
we missed
Reni.
you.
It's been good to see you.
So.
Chat, isn't it great to have not Brian back? It is.
No.
Put a B for Brian in the
Oh.
chat. If you love Brian.
B for Brian. I'm going to start it. Look, I'm going to start it.
Yeah,
I
we've
did it
had to
already.
we've had to put up with swappers in
Lowercase
his
as well.
his
Lowercase, don't forget,
impersonations,
lowercase.
but we need Brian in his impersonations.
That's right.
See, they're all there. Look, they're all there.
Brian.
Brian.
I didn't know swappers had that many burner accounts. That's nice.
He's got 80. Cheers, Professor Artoo. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Good time. Thanks to the panel. Good to have you back, Brian. Cheers, chat. And so Friday, I will be on the B-sides with Adam Gray and friends. So come on by. Give the channel a follow. I think they're still short of getting their 500, I think. So
it's very hard, isn't it, these days to actually get people to subscribe to channels. And also, as Ian has said, once you've subscribed, you've got to watch some of the shows, otherwise they'll unsubscribe you. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like pop culture channels nowadays are a dime a dozen, and it's tough to find one you really like, or to go, well, what's different about this one versus this one? So I get it.
Yeah.
And last but by no means least is the golden reach around droid of choice, Zee-3PIO.
I like turtles.
We all do, mate. Okay. That's it, folks. Apologies for the Nostromo. I'm old. I'll jump out the window, so you need to know.
Let's hear the glass.
Oh, no, I'll open the window first. I'll close it on the way out as well, if I can. That is it, folks.
Very polite.
We'll be back at the weekend.
Ta-ta.
So we'll see you at the weekend. Take care, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
Bye.